Hi everyone, welcome back to a November Thanksgiving-ish edition of Drink What You Want. I am John DeBerry and I am going to show you all how to make a vegan grasshopper today. Drinking a lot of cream and creme de menthe definitely takes its toll on you, so I wanted to go and revisit this drink in a context that might be a bit more it's easy to drink. And so I thought I'd recreate this as a vegan grasshopper. So as far as ingredients are concerned, it's a pretty simple drink as long as you have them all in house. A lot of the work's been done for you by buying vegan ice cream, frozen dessert. The first step is just to thaw, make sure your ice cream is thawed. And non-dairy ice cream thaws in a very strange way and it gives a weird texture, but it works for our purposes. It's very fluffy and it really forms the base of this drink. Once you're done with that, you want to add a little water because, fun fact, alcohol lowers the freezing point of a mixture, and so you have to get it extra cold in order to get that same solid texture. So if you add a little water to bring the concentration of alcohol down a little bit, then it freezes more readily, so that's why you're doing the water. And then next step is 2 ounces of creme de menthe. You can buy green creme de menthe. It is possible to find it. I just couldn't find it, and I also like to have the clear stuff. It's called white, just because it gives you more control over other drinks. But if you use green, it's great. Next is going to be 1 ounce of cognac. This is kind of like a modern edition. The original recipe doesn't have this, but I think it adds a nice depth and dimension to everything. And then creme de cacao, 1 ounce of that. And then this drink will literally not taste the same if you don't put green food coloring in it in some way. So if it's already in the creme de menthe, you're good to go. But if you do not have that, then you're just gonna do 3 drops because a green drink will taste more minty than a white one. Trust me. Once you've got everything mixed together and homogeneous and liquidy, you're pretty much good to go. You should chill your bucket for your ice cream maker and then pour the mixture in. Usually the instructions for an ice cream maker will just have you put this right on the machine and churn it to get it to a consistency that you like. For me, I wanted to go the extra step of putting it back in the freezer for 20 minutes just to make sure everything is really cold and then everything freezes really nicely and you get a nice kind of not quite ice cream, like a really, really thick milkshake texture. And the way to get that for me at least, maybe it's just my kitchen, my environment, but it's to put it in the freezer for 20 to 30 minutes before churning. Depending on the intensity of your freezer, it may take longer, it may take shorter time. What you really want is just for it to be pretty, still liquidy, but just cold all the way through. It's my favorite part because I get to turn things on. It's always fun to have a gizmo. I'd say 15 minutes maybe is a good expectation for how long to wait, but I would just check up on it constantly because it could happen faster or it could take a little longer. If it takes a lot longer, then it's too warm and you kind of have to start over again. But usually if you've done the pre-chilling in the freezer, you're good to go.
We better not stay in here because the temperature's 20 below. Why, it's so frosty cold in here, your breath might turn to snow.
So this has a really nice consistency. The freezer did its job, everything's working. You can actually just turn it off for now. If you're preparing a very large Thanksgiving meal, let's say, and you want to scoop this into a container and keep it in the freezer, definitely works. So you can save yourself a little bit of time in the moment, or you can just let it, or you can serve it immediately. Maybe this is my favorite part of the drink. When I was first developing this recipe a couple of weeks ago, I was drinking it and I was thinking it kind of needed a little extra something. And I was maybe almost like chocolate chips, but then I was kind of I don't want a chocolate chip grasshopper. And then I was well, what's the most absurd and potentially horrifying thing I could do? And most maybe photographic friendly. And I've also never done it before, so I said, why not? And so I figured out a way to put sprinkles on the rim of the glass, because who doesn't want sprinkles with your ice cream-based grasshopper? What you want to do is have a nice shallow plate. There's a small amount of corn syrup in the bottom, and then another dish for your sprinkles. I like the little tiny dot sprinkles because they stick the best and they look really nice. Let's get to it. Just do a little dip, just be careful. You don't want to go too much Ooh, yeah, it's gooey. And there's gonna be like excess, just make sure, roll it off, and then look at that. Come on. Put gasoline in this glass and it would be good. This thing's kind of heavy, so don't break your glasses. Here you have it. Here is my vegan grasshopper. I like to serve it maybe with a little spoon to keep it mixed up, but then really when it's time to drink, you gotta go with the rim. Give it that crunch. But yeah, I love this drink. It's really stupid, but actually pretty delicious. And it also has a fun history thing for me because it's the first drink I ever created, well, like made. I was in a bartending course in college that was very useless, but I did. Something spoke to me about this recipe, so I made a batch of grasshoppers while watching Barbarella with my friends in freshman year of college, and now here we are. So it's the drink that started it all. Thanks for watching. Be sure to get the full recipe at food52.com and come back next month for something that I'm sure will be holiday themed. In the meantime, go back and watch all my old videos because they're all really good. You should like and subscribe to this channel and leave me a comment. Bye.